Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, welcome back if you've been following. Today is Wednesday, which means child's book. Are you proud that I actually said it right? I'm so excited. Anyway, today, first, we're gonna go over some basic tips, which I do every video. In order for a child to be able to read, they need to know how to use a book. So make sure they're holding it correctly with the cover facing them, back, that they know they use one page at a time, and that you go from left to right, top to bottom. Pretty simple, but these are key things in order to be able to read, and you'd be surprised. Tracking print is the hardest. Most kids can learn pretty quickly how to use a book, but it's that tracking print that's still a little hard. So, as you're reading, read with your finger and teach them. You could even have them, like just have the book on the floor facing them, show them to turn it the right way if they haven't, and then have them turn the pages one at a time. I do that a lot at free play. We just have time where the kids get to play for a little bit and they love being in the library. So I do that a lot during free play, have them be the ones turn the page and then I read it so that they really get to know how to use a book. But anyway, today we're going to be doing Alphabet Under Construction by Denise Fleming. This book is pretty simple. For questions, I would mostly use labeling. This is obviously an alphabet book, so every page you're going to label letters. So, the first letter on this page is A, mouse. You could also label the mouse. Oh, what animal is that? A mouse? What letter? A. What's he doing? Airbrushes. You could just label it or ask, yeah, what is the mouse doing? Airbrushing. That's probably what I do. Label the letter, then ask, what is the mouse doing to the letter? And then, have you ever used one? Yes, no. B, buttons, the B. So, label the letter B. What's he putting on the B? Buttons. Do you like to use buttons when you decorate things? Carves, the C. And they might know carves. It's one of those words that we usually use, right, for Halloween when we're talking about carving pumpkins. So you can just say carve means cutting. So label the C. What's he doing? Carving or cutting the C. Have you ever carved something, right? They'll probably say yes, no, right? And then you can talk about what do you like to carve into pumpkins. Dyes, the D. So label the D. What's he doing? He's dyeing it, right? And then you could be like, what color would you like to dye something, right? You could talk about how dyeing is another word for changing colors. When you dye something, you change its color. So do that. What color would you choose to dye the D? Then obviously the next page is E. So label the E. What's he gonna do? Erase it. When do you use an eraser, right? Like we have things laminated to practice line tracing so they can just do it and erase it. There is chalk. You could also label the chalk. Chalk is kind of like a thing of the past for blackboards, but they use it outside. So you could also do, what do you like to draw with chalk and can you erase it, right? There's different ways to turn this. Folds the F. So you're gonna obviously label the F. What is mouse doing? He's folding it. What do you like to fold? Right? Or have you ever helped, like, mom fold laundry? Do you fold paper to make origami, right? Just get them talking about when do you fold things. Glues G. So obviously you're gonna label the G. What's he doing? He's gluing it. And then when do you use glue? And they'll probably be like, at school. H, hangs the H. So label the H. What's he doing? Hanging it. What things do you hang up, right? You want it to relate to them, so you hang up clothes, you hang up decorations. Ice is the I. So first, you might want to say that ices means frosting, right? It's him frosting the I. So then once you've labeled that, define that ices means frosting, label the I. What's he doing? Frosting it or icing it. Have you ever got to ice a cake or a cupcake? Judges the J. So obviously label the letter. There's also a ribbon, right? So what's he doing? He's judging it or saying what he thinks about it. They may not know what judges means. That's where you just share if you like it or not. It's a basic way to explain it to them. And then this is probably a little more higher of a question, but like, have you ever had to tell someone how you feel about something? Like food. Okay. Then the next page is kinks to K. So obviously label first, explain that kinks means like fold. It's another word for like folding. So label the K. What's he doing? Folding it or kinking it. Obviously it's straws. So you could be like, have you ever made anything out of straws? I don't know. Some of these questions are stretched, but you just got to do what you can. Levels the L. You could just explain when you level something, it means you're making sure that it's straight. So obviously label the L. What's he doing? Leveling it. Have you ever used a level? Yes, no. You want some of those easy questions for your nonverbals. The next page, measures the M. So obviously you're going to label the M, or you could label the ruler. And just in case you could explain that measures means say how big or little something is, right? Have you ever used a ruler? They'll probably say no. You could also say, have you ever seen Dad or somebody use a ruler? Nails N. So you could label the N, the hammer, the nails, or all three. Right, what's he doing? He's hammering the nails into the N. Have you ever used a hammer and nails? They'll probably say no, but you could also ask or seen somebody else. Okay is the O. It's the next page, so label the O. There's like a list of him checking things off. So you can just say when you okay something, it just means you're making sure that everything is correct. And then, I mean, again, a little more in-depth question, but like, have you ever had to use a list to check off to make sure everything's okay? Prunes the P. So first you want to sign that prune means like cut. Label the P or his pruners. They probably don't know what pruning thing is. And then ask like, do you ever help anyone out in the yard? Quilts, the Q. You could explain that quilting's another way is just sewing. They might know sewing easier. So label the Q. Then after you define that, what's he doing? He's quilting it. Do you have a quilt at your house? Yes, no? Like a quilt that somebody made you. Rolls are, he's using a roller to paint it again. So label the R. What's he doing? Rolling it or painting it. What do you like to paint? The next page, saws S. So label the S. The saw, what's he doing? Sawing it. You can also define, just in case they don't know, that sawing is another word for cutting. Have you ever used or seen a saw? Tiles, the T. So label the T. What's he doing? Tiling it. Where are some rooms that you've seen tile, right? Bathrooms, usually, or sometimes kitchens. Unrolls the U, he's just pulling a screen down. So label the U, what's he doing? Unrolling it. Have you ever seen a screen? Vacuums, the V, so label the V or vacuum. What's he doing? He's vacuuming the V. Have you ever used or seen a vacuum? And they'll probably be like, oh, we have some in our house. Then you can be like, oh, what color is your vacuum? Is it big, little, right? Just get them talking about vacuums. Welds, the W. So first you might need to explain that welding is when you put something together using heat. It's a basic way for them to understand. Label the W or the welder. And then for your recall question, what's he doing? Welding it. Have you ever made something from metal or got something made from metal? Right, just I'm talking about that. X-rays, the X, I would just label the X. You could talk about an X-ray is something that they use to see the bones in your body. And then have you ever seen an X-ray? Have you ever had to get one? Yanks, the Y. So you could label the Y. What's he doing? Yanking it. You can also explain that yank means pulling. Have you ever had to pull something? And then zips, the Z. So label the Z or the zipper. What's he doing? Zipping it. What things do you have to zip up? They'll probably say backpack, jacket, right? And then that is it. Got this. Not gonna lie. I actually like this. 5 out of 5. I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a book that you can read pretty fast. It can be like if you just want to focus on labeling each letter on the page, that's totally fine. In fact, that's really great. We're doing letters right now. So let's just say by 3 they want them to know 7 consonants and 1 vowel. So just early exposure to letters, and the more you could read books like this, the better. So thank you for watching this far. I'm pleasantly surprised that this book, you could go into more depth. There's lots of things to talk about. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share, especially if you know somebody who's maybe working on the alphabet with their child. This is a good book for that. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because why not? And if you haven't hit that notification button so you don't miss a video, Mondays and Wednesdays I normally do a children's book, and then Saturdays I do a book for me, and I'm doing the Essential 55. I'm gonna try to start doing my cozy corners again. So just lots of things. So get that notification so you don't miss a video. And as always, comment if you've read this book and loved it, let me know. If you have any other recommendations, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you have any specific books you want me to do, or just any other comments you'd love to. And we'll see you next time. Bye.